So, what's up everyone? My name is Void, and today I am finally going to be reacting to the memes that some wonderful people have been sending me on my Discord. This is going to be a multiple part thing because there is quite a lot of them. So, if you would like to send in some things for me to react to, number one, please make sure they don't violate TOS because I have not checked them prior to this, so I have no idea, and I would like to not get TOS'd. And number two, feel free to do so. Just join the Discord. There's like a specific channel, that's the correct word for it, that literally says memes for the stream. You'll know it when you see it, I promise. But yeah, feel free to do that. So without further ado, finally, let's get started. I'm also gonna make this a do not laugh as much as I am gonna make it a reaction, I think. I'll see what the vibe is, because I was not allowed to look at these until I decided to actually do the stream. So I don't know what I'm walking into here. But, yeah, sure. Well, it'll be do not laugh until I decide otherwise. Basically, until I fail miserably. Okay. Let's get started. I also wasn't really sure how to do this without, people's usernames getting shown, so I'm going to do my best to not show those as much as I possibly can. Bear with me though. I will say that. Please bear with me. If you are not comfortable with having your name shown on the screen, just let me know and I will fix it, and or I just won't post it. So yeah. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. It's gonna be kind of blurry, but I will read it. Mental illness in a locker is our first one. Starting off strong, I see. Oh my god. That is... Actually, you know what? I have Monster in my room. Do I, like, chug 2 cans of Monster right now? No, I probably shouldn't take after this person. That is a lot of energy drinks. That is what? A Bang, Monster coffee, because I have friends who are obsessed with this stuff. Oh, dear lord. Yeah, please don't do this. I don't even want to think about what this does to your organs. Oh, we got a video. Let's go. Let's see.
Hey everybody, real quick. Just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you all. Hope you had a good one today. I thought I wasn't going to miss this. I thought I was going to get it out there too late. But I'm thankful for you. Let's just get it out there. That's why I made this video. I am thankful for you, and I had a great turkey day. Hope you did too. Hope you ate plenty of turkey. Hope you had plenty of sausages.
Sir?
Plenty of ham. All the things that we love to have during our Thanksgiving.
Nice. I was wondering where this was going.
I'm thankful for you. I'll see you soon.
Cute. We love to see it. That's cute. I like that. That was also... I was not prepared. I was not entirely prepared. That almost got me. I did almost laugh at that one. Just sheer shock value.
Vegan. I'm doing it, okay? Look, save an animal, eat a plant.
Okay, Chewbacca.
It's almost 2 pounds of chicken. You know where all that meat's going? Wait a minute. You know who's eating all this meat?
Oh. Oh. You got something you want to tell us? Is there something you want to tell us, my guy? Honestly, just specify that it's chicken. Just specify that it's chicken. That was good though. That was funny. I love that. Had so many things in it that I just was not capable of processing in that moment. The Chewbacca laugh, the turning the camera to just the pan of chicken being cooked. I don't know. That was good. That was really good. That was funny. Archimedes discovering the law of volume displacement. Oh god. It says it's a GIF. Oh no. Ugh! What in God's name? Ugh! Ugh! Is that ketchup? What is... No, stop. Get that off of my screen. Go, leave, be gone. No, that is an abomination. Oh. Where can I get this boat? I want this boat. Where do I get it? I want it. US Navy? I want it. Give. This is Edward Elric's boat. It is what that is. This is Levi Ackerman's boat. I'm gonna make all the Short King references. This is so hard to, like, react to these things in a way that, like, you guys can be entertained by it without y'all being able to see, like, my body language and my facial expression, because that is normally how I express myself. I am terrible at talking. But goddamn, here we go. Once I get that gaming computer, it is over for me. It is over. And by that I mean the entertainment is just going to get started. Fresh out of the hospital from alcohol-induced psychosis. Time to get drunk. Maybe don't. Maybe don't. Okay, also, you know what? Speaking of the hospital bracelets that they give you when you go there, when I broke my foot and I went to the hospital, they gave me one of those bracelets. I am a completely healthy individual, and so that is now hanging up on my wall as a souvenir. It is hanging up on my wall. I'm literally looking at it right now. It's not even on my wall. It is not thumbtacked. It is tacked onto the little cork board that's on my desk. So it's like right in front of me every time I sit down because I am a healthy individual. In other words, we're doing great. That sounds like the kind of shit that I'd do. That reminds me of, like, I think it's like Hollywood Undead or something like that. Their song Riot, where he says, fresh out of rehab, going for a relapse. The vibes. The vibes. Okay. Oh no. Ah, that's a Vine. I love those videos. Dude, I loved those. Like the ones where they went into a supermarket and they, like, the gorilla, like, picked up the bananas and then he just had, like, 3 people in banana costumes, like, run after him and drop kick his ass. Oh, beautiful. I miss Vine. That was so good. Granted, there are some videos on TikTok that absolutely have Vine energy, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Oh, dear Jesus. Oh, no! My computer can't handle the rendering. Oh, that poor guy. Oh, no. That's so many fish. I don't even know how to react to this. Oh my god. They just keep coming. Where are they coming from? This reminds me of the Kazoo Kid music. Where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? How do you have this many at one time? No wonder we're fishing things to extinction. Good God, this is, how much longer does this go on for? Oh my god. There's more! Oh, thank God, the fish finally stopped. Huh. That was a lot. That was a lot. How? How? All my ops be warned, because I'm eating my veggies and getting big and strong. Okay, you know what? That reminds me of a thing. When I was a little kid, I loved broccoli. I still like broccoli. It's a really good source of calcium. I also used to drink a fuck ton of milk, like a metric fuck ton. There's no like good way of putting that. But anyway, yes, I ate my veggies as a kid, and now I'm big and strong, which is why I didn't fucking die so many times over, because I get into crazy shit all the time. Anyway, moving on. Eat your veggies because you'll be big and strong. No, Discord, I will not be getting nitro, because who would? That's not very useful, is it? Sorry.
Why are these gas prices so high, Wawa? Why?
I can't see what that says either. What the fuck? Curious George! What the hell? What did I just see? I'm so confused. Did y'all hear that silence? I think my silence in that spoke of volumes. Holy good lord. What? Okay, and scroll very quickly past the name. No. There. What is on that watermelon? Is that a watermelon pizza? Am I looking at a watermelon pizza? Can I not be looking at a watermelon pizza? No, 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 please don't. No. Ah. Are you gonna eat the rind? Please. I have a friend who unironically, like, legitimately eats the rind of watermelons. And I tried it, cause you know, like, I'm gonna call her Abby. So I was sitting at the table with, like, my friends during when I was here over the summer, when I was at my school over the summer, and she literally just, like, I love watermelon. It is one of my favorite fruits. I love it. It's great. Just sprinkle a little sugar on that bad boy for an extra special little treat. Good shit. Anyway, so they were serving watermelon that day in the dining courts. And I waltz over, everyone's cracking jokes that I got, like, literally an entire watermelon on my plate. They were all cut into slices, but goddamn, I basically took an entire watermelon. And yes, I did eat it all. Not the rinds, because I'm not a psychopath. Well, it turns out my friend Abby actually is a psychopath, because she just straight up, like, went for it, and we all just kind of looked at her. And we were like, Abby, what the fuck are you doing? And she was like, what? I always do this. And we're like, you always do this? I don't think we can be friends anymore. I think you might gotta head out, bestie. Like, I don't think we can do that. I don't think this is a great idea. You know, like, So that's my story with watermelon rinds. Please never, ever, ever make this in real life. Oh my god, for one of my cooking videos, I might do something this chaotic. It's not gonna be this, but it's gonna be something this chaotic. Oh, not the Mario movie. It's either gonna be, like, really well done, or it's gonna be an absolute garbage heap, and I don't know which one it's gonna be. Oh. Okay. Is that, like... I'm so out of touch with, like, the new movies and stuff, because I've had a lot on my plate recently. Did someone edit that in? Is that, like... What am I looking at here? You know what? I'm not gonna look at it anymore. I'm good. Moving on. Anyway.
Honey, I think I need to get some toner for my enlarged pores, and then I'm gonna follow it up after with some retinol serum just to moisturize it, because my...
Some retinol serum?
Absolutely gaping. I need to tighten them up. Yes. Also, I've had a new Big Bertha coming in, and I think I need to put a pimple patch on just to cover it up.
What the fuck?
Obviously.
Okay, yeah, let's get one for Big Bertha.
That's what I'm saying. Also, you know how I've been shaving my chest lately?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get some exfoliator so I don't get the razor bumps after. You know?
Yeah.
Isn't that gonna help take that away and moisturize
I
it?
used to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
Pick one
thinking.
out.
Also, I think I'm gonna get this brush for dry brushing to help with my lymphatic system. Do you think that's smart?
Do you, like, really pay attention to me, or do you have a new girl best friend?
That is... that reaction. Do you really pay attention to me, or do you have a new girl best friend? Oh my god, that is great. You know what? At first, I thought he was just, like, making up words, because I don't know what any of those things are. I don't know. Like, I get ads for things, and it's like, using the new hyaluronic acid, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. The only context I have for hyaluronic acid is when I watched Nanbaka, and that was a bargaining chip in one of the episodes. That is the only context I have. I don't know what it is. I don't know anything about skincare or anything like that. So I probably look like an absolute troll, but that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Kitty cat. I love cats. Shh. Hold on, give me a second. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, fixed it. I don't know what it was trying to tell me, but I got it. Fixed it. There we go. Boop boop. Trying again. Starting over. Huzzah. Beautiful. That is the most important picture on the internet. That is the most important picture on the internet. Yes! I love cats! Oh, baby! There's not a thought behind those eyes, is there? Not a single thought. Not a single thought behind those eyes. Not a single one. Okay, and while I'm scrolling past names, gonna do this. Huzzah, that worked. Okay, let's see. What is this GIF? Help. I thought it was gonna be like the Ranboo My Beloved, because that's the only context I have to these, is like the Dream SMP thing, where they're like, whoever my beloved. Oh god, I'm sorry. I keep messing up. I mean, you know what? Having the time of their life. What? Oh my god, this is- oh, I was not prepared. I was not prepared. What? Huh? What is going on? My brother and Satan, what are you doing? What the fuck? Why do you have that in your car? How are you alive? Are you okay? What? What just happened? I want to try that. That looks like fun. I want to give that a go. Let me do the thing. I want to do the thing. Please. Please let me do the thing. I want to try that. Not in Blueberry, though. I named my car Blueberry. I might take a picture of my car because I don't have a license plate on the front because... state. I don't know. Simply just state. Little persister. I'm so dyslexic. We love it. We love it. We love to see it. Little sister pretending to die because I took her vape away. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's gonna be her inhaler, isn't it? Oh. I was right. It was the inhaler. It was the bronchial dilator. Because I'm an absolute dork and I call them bronchial dilators because I think it's funny. It's kind of like, instead of saying brain freeze, you say, oh, I got this off of Spider-Man, and I can't remember what it is. It was like the animated Spider-Man series from like 2013, I think it was. Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. I didn't even have to Google it. I literally opened my phone to Google it, and I just remembered after I said 2013. Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. That is the scientific name for brain freeze, but it's actually more of a heat wave to your brain. But we're not going to do that right now. I mean, we are, but like we're not. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. Also, I have so many stories because last week was Tech Week for Theater, so we did the show for Orlando. It was wonderful. I had a fantastic time, and I am so happy that I got to do it. But let me just say, during one of the nights during Tech Week, we were matching up like sound cues, light cues, etc. with you know, the lines that happen. And while we were waiting in between Oh, cool. Okay. Sorry, someone just texted me. I'm going out to dinner with one of my friends from the fraternity that I'm in, and we have not picked a place, but that's okay. Anyway, enough of me getting distracted. I say, going back to the topic that was distracting me from doing this. Anyway, so we were like, while they were getting, you know, the sound cues and light cues set up, like they had to input whatever it is they were doing and like take their notes on when it needed to happen and stuff like that. The actors and the directors who were down on the stage just got to kind of like sit there and talk. And for the purpose of anonymity, I'm going to refer to everyone by their characters' names and not their actual names. And that's fine. So, one of our directors is, well, our 3 directors were grad students, and they're each kind of working in a different department. None of them actually, like, are interested in directing, because I'll just say director 2 and director 3. All right, cool. So director 1 is like, he mainly does like sound. Like he's more of like a sound person. Sound and lighting. And so the other 2 directors work in like wardrobe mainly, like they'll do costumes or like set design, things like that. And they'll give us like little facts from their respective fields every time we come into rehearsal. So today we were talking about like random things, and director number 1 says, by the way, I have a random favorite word. And myself, Orlando, and the 4 chorus members who were there were like, okay, I am now curious, what is your favorite word? And it was, I don't remember what the word is, because my brain always wants to say Leviticus. It's obviously not Leviticus, but it means to sit in a corner until the situation has improved. And it's like, hold on. To sit in a corner until circumstances improve. What is that word? I think it's like letibulate or something. I did not spell that right. Yes, it is letibulate. Let's go. It is a verb and it means to hide oneself in a corner. And our director was like, director number 1 was like, this is my favorite word because I think it's hilarious. And I was like, aha. So that's what I do at parties. I just find the dog and then letibulate. That's what I do. Because humans, I think not. Dogs, yes please. I love dogs and cats and pretty much any animals. I'm going to be working in a wolf shelter over the summer. I'm going to befriend a pack of wolves. This is going to be great. Actually, I went to said wolf shelter just to kind of like with my parents, because it's kind of close to my home, so I'm not going to say which one it is. But so like we go to this wolf shelter and we do the thing where it's like you get to go into the pens like with the wolves and you get to pet the wolves, and I got to squish a wolf's toe beans and it was wonderful. Best day of my life. And we got to meet 4 wolves. There were 2 in each pen, so we went into 2 different pens, and there's a male and a female in each pen, because that's kind of like how packs are set up mostly. So like we go into the first one, we have Akina, and I don't remember the other wolf's name. But Akina was a super cute little darling. She just like went over and laid down and like rolled on her back because she wanted belly rubs and all that good stuff. Both of the boys, we saw 2 boys and 2 girls, and it was a boy and a girl in each pen. And I noticed that in both circumstances, the girls were a lot more like okay with being around people than the boys. And also, apparently wolves are run in a matriarchy. So the alpha wolf being a male thing, yeah, that's not even remotely true. They're a matriarchy. It's literally run by the female wolves. But anyway, not the point. The point is, so I was over there, like I was petting Akina. She was being a little cutie, and the boy wolf, which I cannot remember the name of, was kind of like walking around behind everyone and being like, I don't know who any of you are, and I don't like you. Please get away from me. And he was just being a shy little guy, and I loved him. So I had a great time in the first pen. We go over into the second pen, and these ones are named Ina and Bertok. So Ina absolutely loves people. Like, she was walking around to all of us, like leaning up against us, like wanting head scratches and belly rubs, and she was just such a sweetie. And Bertok was, again, like the other wolf, did not want to be around people, was very timid, didn't walk up to any of us. And me being me, I was like, I have an idea. So we were allowed, so they had this like little stage in the middle of the pen that like the wolves would go up onto, and everyone would like stand around the stage, and we could like pet them if they walked over to us. But you were allowed to like walk around a little bit. And so Ina had jumped off, actually both of the wolves had jumped off of the platform, and they were like running around. Well, Ina specifically was running around between all of us, and Bertok was just sitting over by their enclosure and was like, I am not going to come near any of you. Please stay the hell away from me. Understandable. I don't like people either, normally. But like, I get that. I don't particularly like people coming over to my room and like bugging me, so I get it. But I was like, I have an idea. So I kind of like stood at the edge of the group. I wasn't really next to anyone. I was out a little bit farther than everyone else. And a lot of you are probably going to be like, that is a very dumb idea. But I turned my back to Bertok. I turned my back to him, and I was like, we'll just see what he does. I'll just not pay attention at all. And if he wants to come over, he'll probably feel more comfortable, because every time someone like looks at him and reaches their hand out to him, he backs away, and he's like, I don't like that. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to turn my back to him. If he wants to come over, he will. If he doesn't, that's fine. And after a few seconds, I feel something on the back of my calf, and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. And one of the two people who like worked there, who were in with us, they were like, don't turn around, but Bertok is right behind you. And I was like, oh, I know, I'm so excited. And then apparently Bertok, to all of the staff members that like he knows and he's comfortable with and he's been around a lot, he'll like boop his nose into their butts. And he did that to me too, and I was like, oh my God. But it was so cute. And then as we were leaving, he literally followed me out of, like, he followed me over to the door of the enclosure. Like, he was literally like right behind me, and it was so cute. And I'm like, oh, we are going to be friends. We are going to be the best of friends. We are going to get on like a house on fire. This is going to be great. This is the start of a beautiful friendship. So I'm going to befriend a couple packs of wolves over the summer. This is going to be awesome. And also at this wolf sanctuary place, they had a few foxes as well. And I don't remember any of the foxes' names because we didn't get to go in with them. We just got to kind of like walk up to the fence and kind of look at them, because apparently they like to nip at people. So they were like, don't stick your fingers through the fence. And I was like, okay. So I didn't stick my fingers through the fence. I just placed like the flat part of the back of my hand up against it. So they literally could not bite me if they wanted to. But they could like smell my hand. They could figure out who I was. That's cool. And like the people who were working there, they saw me doing it. They were totally fine with it. They were like, that's honestly like the best way to interact with them in this circumstance. That's fine. You're cool. So I just kind of like left the backs of the two of my fingers up against the fence. And there's this one little fox. They had two red foxes, one white one, I think like a brown fox, I can't remember, and then a black fox. And I don't remember any of the other ones' names, but the black fox's name was Aries. And so I was like up at the fence, and I had seen like Aries run up on the little platform that they had right by the fence, so they could get like kind of, I guess like their face would probably be about at my shoulders, was like how high the platform was, if that makes sense. So I just kind of had my fingers pressed up against it, and Aries ran over, and I noticed he was getting bullied by the other foxes, because there was someone in there who was like giving them marshmallows and stuff. and he was getting like nipped at and chased away kind of aggressively, like by all the other foxes, and they weren't doing that to each other, just Aries. And that's honestly how I found my dog. Is we were at I think it was a yard sale or something. It was at someone's house. It wasn't like a dog shelter or anything. And they had a bunch of dachshund puppies, and my dog is a dachshund. And he was the runt of the litter. He was in there with 3 or 4 other dogs and like 3 or 4 other puppies. And there was this one really, really big dachshund. Like he was obviously the biggest in the litter by far. And he had my now dog backed up into a corner of the cage, and like a couple of his other siblings were like barking at him, and they had him backed up into a cage. And I was bullied a lot as a kid. So I was like, I asked my parents, I was like, can I hold that dog? Can I please just hold him and just like get him out of there for a few minutes? Like, please. And I was, 6 or 7 at the time, I think. And my parents were like, all right, fine, but we're not going to get the dog. We're not getting the dog. And I was like, that's fine. I just want to get him out of there for a few minutes, like give him a few moments of, rest, because he's literally backed into the corner of the cage by his siblings, aggressively advancing on him. And the 2 old women who were like sitting behind the cage weren't doing anything to help. And so like I'm holding this little baby puppy dachshund, and I'm like, this just simply this is the best day of my life. We ended up getting him. His name is Dashy. He is still in our family. He has been since that day. And I don't know what it is about me and picking the underdogs and the runts of the litter, but goddamn, I'm one too, so let's go. We gotta stick together, I guess. So that's how I got my dog. And so Aries, the underdog of the foxes, he ran up over and like jumped up on the platform next to the fence, and he noticed my fingers up against the fence. And so he like gave them a tentative little sniff, and then he licked my hand. I got a kiss from a fox. It was so cute. And I was like, I am totally coming back here, and I am befriending you and you and you, and we're all going to be the best of friends. Because I prefer animals over humans any day of the week. I'm sure most people do. So anyway, that's my story of, that. Wasn't I talking about latibulating? I think I was. Anyway, the next thing that happened is, so, director number 1 said, yeah, my favorite word is latibulate. And everyone was like, oh, that's a really good word. And I was like, oh, I have a favorite word, and it's defenestrate. And everyone kind of looked at me, and they were like, what does that mean? And I was like, it means to throw specifically a person out of a window. We don't have a word in English for the day after tomorrow. We don't have a single word for that, but we do have a word that means to throw someone out of a window. Makes total sense. I understood. Copy. Received. Honestly. So now that's everyone in my cast's new favorite word. They absolutely loved it, and I was just happy to be, like there and part of the conversation, because for most of that night, I was one of like the supporting characters, I guess. So I wasn't on stage like a lot of the time, so I spent a lot of time like backstage studying for my exam. But I had fun. I had so much fun while I was there. It was great. The audience was great all 3 days. The cast was so much fun. The crew was awesome. Our directors were awesome. I actually found out that directors number 1 and director number 2 were married, and I did not know that the entire time. And they were literally like, Void, our last names are the same. Did you think we were siblings or something? And I was like, joke's on you. I'm on a first name basis with all of you. I didn't know what your last names were. So that was great. That was fantastic. Anyway, back to the memes. Child is terrified. Oh, that poor kid. Oh, that poor kid. Oh, that's so... What the... cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Sorry, I just saw something in my chat and I wanted to read it, but it's one of those dumb little like, oh, you can buy your way into having more followers and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'd rather have real people and not buy my way into popularity, because that's not really popularity, is it? Or that's not really having people like you and appreciate what you do, is it? Answer, no, it's not. I want to do it the authentic way. So, moving on. Hello? Play, please. Aw, the song is super copyrighted. It's super copyrighted. I can't play it, I'm sorry. Queen shit! Oh my god! We love to see it. Sorry, I couldn't play that song. I know that one's copyrighted. All the other ones I could probably get away with. This one, it's Rihanna. Oh, speaking of Rihanna, so my friends who were kind of like doing their own little band thing, because I don't know what to call it yet, they finally have a name. They're called Dual Sync. So I strongly recommend you guys go check their channel out. They do have a YouTube channel. They have a TikTok as well. It's just Dual Sync, DUALSYNCH, or SYNC. Yeah, it's just that. Anyway, they post songs. We're working on a collaboration, and the reason I reminded that by saying Rihanna is because my another person in the band who's not in Dual Sync walked in while they were working on it, and they were like, dude, you sounded like Rihanna in that song, except like you have this weird little voice thing that you do, so I could tell it was you, but you sounded like Rihanna in that recording. And I was like, oh, thank you. Also, I have a voice signature apparently. That's kind of dope. I'm here for it. Let's go. Oh no, not the high school teachers. This is a high school classroom for sure.
Dude, this class is so boring. Yo, Miss G, can we learn about something else?
Actually, Sam, there is something I haven't told you yet. The bite of 87. There are 4 suspects for the bite of 87. Those people are cringe.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That teacher was ready. That is a cool teacher. That is a cool... I don't know who Miss G is, but Miss G, thank you for being chill. That was chill as hell. Oh my god. That... I wish, but I went to a Catholic high school. I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, so they would never... Kit Kat. Kit Kat. Kit Kat. Is that cheese? Does your cat like cheese? No, that's lasagna! Oh, baby! Oh my god. I forgot to plug my computer in. Hold on. Ah! No, 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 no. No, you're not. No. No. There we go. I just saw the screen like darken and I didn't touch anything and I was like, oh, it's on the last 20%! Oh no! Okay. Yes, Garfield lore. No, 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 just ignore it. No one read that, just ignore that. Ignore that. We don't do that, not on this channel. Actually, you know what? I've been thinking about it lately, and number 1, Technoblade taught me well, be a sellout, honestly, 100%. Number 2, my personal motto is just, like, seeing that reminded me of a thing, is like, one of my mottos in life is be a dick to the corporations, not their lowest paid workers, because it's not their fault that the company sucks. It's not on them. It's on the CEOs and the people at the top. So be a dick to the 1%, not everyone else. That I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. If I ever end up selling merch, if I ever end up getting to that point, which I really hope I do, that's going to be put on a t-shirt. Anyway, I'm getting very distracted. My point was in like also like all of the bot saying like, oh yeah, you can buy followers and viewers and whatever. First of all, yeah, no. Second of all, if I ever get to the point where it's like, I guess like partner is what it's called, I think, where it's like people can start subscribing to my channel or like gifting subs and things like that. I don't want to do that. I don't want my money to come from like the average person, I would rather take that money from like Twitch or Amazon, because I know I'm like subbing with Prime, things like that. I'd rather take it from like sponsorships and like Twitch, like the big corporations, not the everyday person. Personally. But that's just me. Anyway, moving on.
We in the wrong spot. Yo, this is the wrong restaurant right here.
Whoa, that's the wrong restaurant, guys.
It's the wrong restaurant, man.
That is the wrong restaurant. What are you doing, man? Oh, this is the kind of shit that me and my friends get up to, and I love it. I'm sorry, your phone gets seized by frogs. How do I get these frogs? Oh. Oh. They're angry. They're not happy. Oh, jeez. Oh my god. They're not happy. Dude, you just gotta... Oh, they turned on your phone. How? That was like off. Did they just unlock your phone? Dude, those frogs are angry. Oh, speaking of reptiles, when I do eventually, you know, have a place that allows pets, whether that be hopefully preferably my own house or an apartment building, my goal in life is to have a dog, a cat, a horse, a cow. Don't ask about those last two. A snake and a frog, and also a turtle. I would like to have like all of those animals because I love all of them. And you know what? Should I explain the cow? Like, I was a competition horse rider as a kid, and I'm still fairly good at it. I would like to think. So I'd love to have a horse of my own where I can just like go on trail rides or do competitions when I feel like it, because I was a competition jumper at my highest level. I actually still have a few blue ribbons. Anyway, the thing is like I would love to go back and do competitions, but I would also love to just have a horse where I can just go on trail rides and things like that. So I guess I'm gonna have to get a truck when I get older. I don't know. But the cow, that one's probably weird to everyone. That's probably the only one where like people would be like, okay, all the other ones I can understand. Like dogs and cats, pretty normal. Horse, okay, you're a horse girl, I get it. Reptiles, okay, fine. Oh, I would also like to have a bearded dragon. Forgot about that one. But cow, like what? Where did that come from? I just think they're cute. I love their big noses. They're big noses and they're floofy boys and they're just so cute. I love them. They're amazing. 'Cause yeah, I have some cousins and they have a few cows and pigs and stuff on their farm, and I've never had a cow, but I kind of want one because they're cute. They're just adorable. Also, cows are physically strong enough to carry the weight of a human, so I could ride a cow. I could. I very well could. Anyway, moving on. Okay, I have a story after this. Accurate. That is an accurate statement. Accurate. That's me. That's me when I like wake up every morning. I'm like, oh my god, I am conscious. I am in a society. I am in a world. What the fuck? Speaking of gaining consciousness, so over the past couple weeks that I have been here, one of them was spring break, the other one was literally last Sunday. So, yes, in the last 2 weeks, I have passed out twice, which is concerning. Not the first 2 times I've passed out, not by a long shot. Those are number 4 and 5. But let me explain. So I have a serious phobia of needles. So you will, no matter what I end up doing in my life, it will never, ever, ever, I will never be around needles by choice. Because fuck that. Absolutely not. So I went to the doctor on Monday for my general checkup, like general annual checkup. and they were like, hey, since you're here for like the general checkup, do you want to get your blood drawn now or just later? Because, you know, you're here for your annual checkup, annual blood draw, like things like that. Just, you know, general, making sure I'm not wibbity woobity, I guess. So I'm like, okay, fine, because I'm gonna have to do it at some point. Like, fine, I guess. So I go into the lab and I get my blood drawn, and I'm like trying not to panic that whole time. And you know what? The last time I had a needle stuck in my arm, it was when I was getting my wisdom teeth out, and they didn't give me a countdown for the anesthesia. I just kind of was sitting there trying to breathe and not pull the thing out of my arm, because that's my first reaction, is to pull it the fuck out of my arm. Not good. Any doctor will tell you, don't do that. But that's my first general reaction to do that. So I was sitting there, I was like breathing in the laughing gas or whatever it is like they had put on my face. And I was like, okay, deep breath, deep breath, don't die. You know, like that. That was me sitting in the chair. And then I was waking up. They didn't give me a countdown. They didn't tell me they were turning on the anesthetic. I just kind of woke up. And I was very delirious, and I remember like sitting in that chair, and they had put like a brown blanket over my legs just to kind of like keep me warm and things like that. And they were like, okay, don't stand up. We're gonna get you a wheelchair. So what did I do as soon as they left the room? I was very out of it. It was kind of like being drunk, but I wasn't drunk. I was just on, you know, anesthetic. So what do I do as soon as everyone leaves the room and I'm alone? I stand up just to see if I could. The answer was I could, and then I sat back down and I waited. I have a video of me in the car with my mom after the anesthesia, which is interesting because like I've seen a ton of videos of like when people get their wisdom teeth out, they like say all the craziest shit when they wake up. No, I just kind of woke up and I was like, so I mean, I hurt, but I guess I've been inebriated enough times that this isn't anything to me. What? I don't know. What do you want me to say? I don't know what you want from me. But it was great because I had like the gauze things in my mouth and they were just like covered in blood. And you could just see it when I was talking to the camera. But it was like, it was so funny, but it was so bad. So anyway, they like put the needle in my arm to draw my blood, and they all take like 2 vials or something, or like, no, it was 1 vial. It wasn't even that much. And as I've said before, I hate needles. Ever since I was a wee tot, I've hated needles. So like they pull it out, I stand up, I thank the person, and I walk out to the waiting room where my mom and my grandma are. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel really good. And I start feeling worse with literally every step. I'm like, ugh, I feel kind of gross. So I get there, I sit down across from them in the waiting room, and I'm like, oh, I really don't feel good. So I turn and I lean over the armrest on the chair to the next chair over, because each chair is like armrests in between them. Dick move, because it made me hurt my shoulder because I couldn't lay down, but whatever. So like I lay my head down, I'm like bracing myself on my arm, and I'm like overheating, and I'm like, God, I feel really, really sick. I don't feel good. And then I wake up with people like pulling me upright into the chair. And one thing you should know when I pass out is when I do pass out, I eyes open and snoring. That is what I do. My mom always says it's terrifying, but I'm like, well, you know what? At least you can tell that I'm breathing. So that's fine. It's fine. We're fine. At least it's very apparent that I'm breathing. So I wake up to people sitting me up in the chair and just like pressing a bottle of apple juice and peanut butter crackers into my hand, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And like when I wake up after passing out, I can't hear anything. It sounds like I'm standing under a waterfall. So like people were talking and I was like, what's going on? I can't hear anything. What are you saying? And then, you know, eventually it dissipated and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little better. I still feel kind of sick, but that sucked. Everyone there was really nice. That was great. And I'm fine now. So last Sunday, This is the soonest I've ever, like, this is the closest interval between passing out that I've ever had. So last Sunday, just under a week later, a little bit under 2 weeks later, there we go. I was standing in line at a dining court, just waiting to get dinner. Really the first thing I'd eaten that day. It was tech week that week, so I hadn't really been eating great, or a lot, because like the timing was weird for the rehearsals and stuff like that, and so I couldn't really eat properly or at the times that I liked to, so it was kind of wacky. And I was standing in line trying to get in the dining court to get food, and as I'm standing in line, I start getting the colorful dots across my vision, and I was like, oh Christ, I'm gonna pass out. And I started like feeling lightheaded, and I wasn't feeling good, so I was like, I literally just sat down on the floor, because I did not trust myself to walk another step. I was like, I am sitting down right here on the floor, so at least if I pass out, I don't fall my full height. And so like I'm sitting there on the floor, like rocking back and forth, and I wasn't even meaning to rock. I just am aware that I was. And these three girls on the way out kneel down, and they're like, hey, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna pass out. This happens sometimes, like, it's fine. And they were like, okay, if you're sure. And then they, like, get up and leave. And, the line shuffles forward a little more, so I stand up, and I shuffle forward with it, and I was like, ooh, that didn't fix it at all. I am still definitely gonna pass out if I don't do something. So I walk over to the nearest table, I sit down in the chair, I put my head down on the table, and I'm like, ooh, I feel really gross. And then I wake up on the floor. And luckily for me, everyone who was in line with me did exactly what you're supposed to do. So like two girls were holding up my legs to like get blood flow up to like my head and my upper body, which is what you're supposed to do. One person was like holding my head so it wasn't just laying on the tile floor. And those were all people in line. Like those were just normal students. Those weren't even like workers there. One of the workers was like on the phone with 911, and I woke up, and again, like I couldn't hear anything. It sounded like I was standing under a waterfall, or laying under a waterfall, I guess. And I was like, oh my god, that sucked. I was very embarrassed. I don't know why, because I shouldn't have been. It's just, I hadn't eaten, so my body was like, factory reset, let's go. I'm fine now. I'm back to normal. I've been getting more sleep. I've been eating more normally, so I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. But I just want to say, if anyone who was in that dining court on that day, who helped me out, thank you all for not letting the bystander effect be a thing. And thank you all for making sure that I was okay, because I have seen way too many videos of people just not helping at all when something like that happens. So thank you. If any of you are hearing this, thank you for being good. Thank you for helping, because it really genuinely did help. And like all the workers there were really cool. They were like, hey, you just sit here and like we'll get whatever food you want. Just tell us what you want and we'll get it for you, and like just make sure you're okay. And I was like, okay, thank you. And everyone was super cool. They didn't end up having an ambulance come, because I woke up before, they dispatched the ambulance. And the worker was nice enough to be like, do you need an ambulance? Do you want an ambulance? Like, what's going on? And I was like, no, this just happens. Like, I feel okay. And I know what it feels like to have a concussion. I was like, okay, I don't have a concussion. I'm fine. I just need like 20 minutes. And then I called a friend and I was like, hey, I just passed out in this dining court. Can you walk with me back to my room to make sure I don't like fucking die on the way back, please? And they were nice enough they dropped everything. They were like, okay, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. And that is like, walking wise, that is the soonest they could have gotten there. So they like came right over. They made sure I was okay. Everyone involved was super amazing. So I just want to say thank you to everyone involved. But yeah, those are my fun stories from the past couple weeks. I have more of them. This is the only good thing with me not like streaming all the time, is like, I have a lot of fun stories to tell y'all whenever I do. Okay, so it is now time for me to get ready to go to dinner with my friend. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sign off for today. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining. If you liked it, I'm gonna start doing this just to kind of see if it helps, because I don't know, may as well run an experiment. If you liked it, please hit that follow or subscribe button. It really helps me out, and it gets me one step closer to being a partner on Twitch, or, you know, getting, like, being able to get paid for stuff on YouTube. So yeah, if you like it, please do that. It also makes me happy to know that people are enjoying my content. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever it is you may be, and make sure you take some time to sit and watch the world go by. And also, hydrate or dihydrate and eat food, goddammit, because I know what happens when you don't. Anyway, I will see you all in my next video. Void, signing off.